Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk to you all about Fortnite Battle Royale's newest update. It's not a huge update, but we have a new item. An item was vaulted, we had the drop rate of some items changed, and then we also got some new tournament or pop-up cups in-game. Starting off with the new item, we have the buried treasure item. This item is legendary, and once it can drop out of floor looter chests, and once you have it, it'll lead you to a spot where you can get a legendary chest. I assume this will function similar to the legendary chests that are at the block. So this is essentially like a delayed gratification legendary item. Well, it actually says it'll contain a trove of legendary loot, so maybe it'll be multiple legendary items. I'm not sure. I assume it would have to be multiple legendary items to make this one legendary item worth going to get others. Like, it really wouldn't make sense to even have this in the game. So yeah, you get this, and then you'll be able, it'll lead you to somewhere else where you can go find treasure. I guess it's like a consumable. Like, I guess you'll use it and then it'll mark it on your map. We'll have to see. This can be found at a floor loot and chest. Like I said, interesting item. I don't think this will be something that I use too frequently, but it'll be a nice item when it works out for you. Whatever. Interesting item that they put with the theme of the game, and I don't really think it negatively impacts the game at all, so I don't mind having it. The infantry rifle and the clingers both got reduced drop rate. Nothing massive, but you should be getting them a little less often. And then the bottle rockets were vaulted. I've seen a lot of players complaining about the loot pool. To me, it's not the biggest deal because, I don't know, I just kind of understand that for the looting aspect to work, in my opinion, there has to be lower tiered options. That way, the higher tiered options or the more rare items feel worth getting, you know? If everything is good, then nothing is good. Why even have those higher rarity options? I don't know, that's how I see it at least. They could remove the infantry rifle and I wouldn't care, but just playing devil's advocate, I kind of see why they put some lower tiered items in the game. What I thought they could maybe do is remove infantry rifles, remove bottle rockets, remove balloons from chests. That way chests are a little bit better. Not making them god loot or anything, but just remove some of the more lower tiered items from chests. That way you're more likely to get something else. But they opted to make infantry rifle and clingers spawn less frequently and then vault the bottle rockets. I think the bottle rockets being vaulted is a good thing, and I don't really think anybody will complain about that. The new pop-up cups that we have, or actually before I get into that, there was a gameplay change. Increase the angle at which you can slide down terrain without taking damage from 65 degrees to 75 degrees. Essentially, you're going to be able to slide down more steep mountains, but we'll have to see how this plays out in game. I never walk around with a protractor to measure the degrees at which I'm falling, so yeah, we'll just see how it plays out in game. I don't think it'll be too massive, but we'll see. Getting onto the pop-up cup changes, the Gauntlet Solo and Gauntlet Duo test events are here. This event is like a seasonal event, and it'll last until March 9th. This update is dropping on the 6th, so it's a 3-day long event, and you each have your own score in duos. So if I play with you, in the past, we would have the same score. Our score would be together, I believe. I didn't really play the pop-up cups much, but based on how these patch notes are worded, that's how it would have functioned. So, but now if I play with you and then I go and play with somebody else, my score remains the same, your score remains the same, and the other person's score remains the same. Everybody's score is independent. So if I get 3 points with you and then 2 points with the other person, I have 5 points, you have 3 points, the other person has 2 points. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own scoring. Now there's a bus fare, so at the beginning of each match, you will have 2 points deducted from your total. This is to disencourage some people from just hot dropping and then killing themselves. What some people would do is they would hot drop or drop tilted or whatever, try to clear it for the kill points and then end the game or kill themselves. That way they could go and find a new match faster, and they would just rack up points that way rather than actually playing the game, because you could get like the 6 limbs or whatever it would be for the kill total faster than like playing out a late game and like playing like quote unquote properly. Players are still matchmade with opponents with similar point totals, and matchmaking will wait up to 8 minutes before creating a match with the closest players. Matchmaking will search in considerably wider points range after 4 minutes of searching. So it sounds like queue times will be a lot longer for this, but I guess that's to compensate for the fact that the point total is going on for several days rather than just a few hours. There's going to be a finals event. It's a scheduled 3-hour event, and you can check the tournament in-game for your local time if you make it to there. The finals has a scoring limit of 10 games, so you can only play 10 games that count in that 3 hours. And then the top 3,000 players in each server region will advance to round 2 on a Sunday during the scheduled time block. So this is going to be different than the pop-up cups. The pop-up cups would just last for a few hours, and there really wasn't much of like a conclusion to it. This is way more like a tournament. So you're going to be able to play for the 3 days, and then I assume if you get enough points in that time, it doesn't really say. I don't really understand how they're going to do it. So I guess if you just grind really hard in those 3 days, then you'll be able to maybe make it to the finals. And then if you do good on that time, you get, if you're in the top 3,000, you get to go on to the next event. So that's actually pretty interesting. And one note is that NA East and NA West are now separate for the scheduled tournaments and no longer share a leaderboard. I think this is really, really good because it's just not ideal in a competitive environment to make players play off server unless they have some sort of central servers. But I don't think they do that, or they don't know if they have plans to do that. I think separating them into a different separate pools is much better. Just it makes a better experience for everybody. I personally have good internet and I can play on West, but it's not ideal, and I have very good internet. So for somebody who doesn't have that great of internet, it's going to be really painful for them, and they're not really going to be able to compete. So I think that is a good change. Let me know what you guys think of these pop-up cups, or the changes to the pop-up cups. Also, they made some changes to the audio in-game. The AR shouldn't be as loud. The sound made when a player destroys the structure is now louder when instigated by enemies. I don't even know what that means. Footstep audio blends in the above-below layers rather than switching binarily between them. There's just various audio changes. We'll see how this plays in game. A lot of times they say, what's it called? That they improve the audio and then it sounds worse. So we'll just wait to see how this plays out in game. But yeah, it's a pretty good update. We got new buried treasure item. We got infantry rifle and clingers should be spawning less. Bottle rockets are gone. And a new tournament structure, which I think is an improvement over pop-up cups. This sounds like a more like legit tournament, but let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. If you found this video informative or helpful in any way, please do remember to drop a like on it and subscribe if you would like to see more. I do live stream Fortnite Battle Royale every single day, and I will be posting videos somewhat regularly. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.